To the mayor, Dema will only answer to the federal judge overseeing control of Rikers. How do you foresee that relationship working?
Well, I've met with Nick a number of times, and we're defining this work as a partnership. You're absolutely right. He reports to the court, I report to the mayor. Again, our work is not different. Our work is similar. And that is, we need to make sure that the Department of Correction and our jails are safe for incarcerated people and safe for officers. That we have a system that is fair, it holds people accountable, and it is transparent. While he's focusing on the 12 contempt orders in on the remediation plan, our work aligns. It's safety. Because when we have safe jails, we can do the important work that we need to do, helping people transition to the community, making sure that people, while they're in our care, have access to services, and making sure that when our officers come to work, they return home safely.
Commissioner Stanley Richards for the Department of Correction. Commissioner, thank you. Come back and see us again. Give us an update, please.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
WNYC is supported by the Public Theater, presenting the world premiere of Public Charge, a true story of diplomacy, politics, and espionage, co-written by former U.S. Ambassador Jaleesa Reynoso and Michael J. Chapiga. Begins March 12th. More at publictheater.org.
You are listening to Morning Edition here on WNYC. 36 with rain out there right now, some showers, a high near 41 today. Yes, we do have rain in this forecast for the rest of the day. Wind gusting to 21 miles an hour. And then tomorrow, sunshine upper 40s. Sunday, snow likely, maybe 1 to 3 inches sticking around, a high of 37 degrees. It's 6:52 and you're listening to WNYC.
The cruel math of unemployment is not about too few working, it's about too many.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Barron's Investor Circle, offering stock picks, market insights, and access to the Barron's editors behind a century of reporting at barrons.com/investor circle. And by GEP. With GEP Key Agentic AI and GEP Smart Software, GEP is at the forefront in agentic procurement orchestration and autonomous supply chains.
I'm David Brancaccio in Los Angeles. Good morning to you. First, we'll get a key measure of inflation this morning, the one preferred by the guardians of interest rates at the Federal Reserve. This is the one with the clumsy name, the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index. It'll be for December, and it's out in about an hour and a half. President Trump talked about prices yesterday in Georgia. Marketplace's Nancy Marshall-Genzer has more.
President Trump pointed to lower prices for things like gas to make this claim yesterday.
What word have you not heard over the last 2 weeks? Affordability. Because I've won affordability.
The cost of used cars is also down. President Trump is expected to continue talking about lower prices and affordability in his State of the Union speech this Tuesday. But inflation is still above the Federal Reserve's 2% target, and consumers feel the pinch, especially at the grocery store. A left-leaning think tank, the Center for American Progress, has unveiled a plan for price caps. It was written by former Biden administration economist Jared Bernstein. The proposal would freeze the price of more than 20 different foods for at least 2 years, including staples like meat, milk, cheese, and butter. The CAP program would be voluntary. The plan would offer breaks on credit card swipe fees as an incentive for stores to participate. I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer for Marketplace.
Let's do the numbers. Yeah, ain't got that swing. Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ futures are all little changed at the moment ahead of that price data, but the price of crude oil has leveled out after jumps earlier this week, given U.S.-Iran tensions.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Progressive Insurance, helping protect small businesses with a variety of coverages like general liability, workers' compensation, and commercial auto. More at progressivecommercial.com. And by Amazon Business, committed to business buying solutions to empower leaders to streamline and focus on growth. Learn more about smart business buying at amazonbusiness.com. And by Schwab. Schwab offers investors choices like full-service wealth management, self-directed investing options, and trading on Think or Swim. More at schwab.com.
Question, is unemployment, able to work but unable to find work, a liability or an asset? It's not an asset to the worker in search of livelihood, of course, but mainstream economics acknowledges that some joblessness helps to keep prices down, and from the corporate point of view, it helps keep profits up. It's one of the reasons that, to most economists, ideal unemployment is not zero unemployment. This is one of the critiques of the economic system we live in. Clara Mattei teaches economics at the University of Tulsa. Her new book is called Escape from Capitalism and Intervention, where she calls some of this the, quote, cruel math of unemployment. Dr. Mattei, welcome.
Thank you so much, David, for having me.
What's the cruel math?
The cruel math is that unemployment is not a problem for our system, but it's actually a solution for it.
It's not a bug. It's weirdly a feature. It's like the standard math of economics in our market system insists that unlike eating Reese's peanut butter cups, there can be too much employment. Businesses and regular economists get nervous if, too many of us have jobs?
Us having jobs means that the bargaining power of workers goes up, and workers can be empowered to actually start problematizing why they have to go work for a wage that is so low, and might start mobilizing for a different socioeconomic system, which is very bad for a capitalist economy.
We just had this big natural experiment in some of this when we were coming out of the COVID pandemic. The unemployment rate got really low, and employees or potential employees could say, hey, you want to hire me, you got to pay me more. The way we reported this was that sparked a lot of destructive inflation. You're saying what? If you have to pay employees more because a lot of people are employed, why couldn't that come out of shareholder profits, not necessarily putting it into prices?
In 2023, when unemployment was 3.4%, all the technocrats running central banks were freaking out, and they were able, by increasing interest rates, to increase the unemployment rate to much higher. And this is the point, is that increases in interest rates, which is fundamental austerity policies, don't necessarily work to actually cure inflation. But what they do work for is to cure the rate of exploitation. Because in fact, by dropping wages because of higher unemployment, there is more profit share over wage share, meaning that more value is extracted from workers.
Let's talk about the world we live in now in the United States. It isn't really these technocrats who are in full power. The current powers that be are led by President Trump, who's working very hard to stop immigration. That lowers the ranks of the unemployed and does, in fact, do what I think you want to have happen, which is, in part, a move to raise compensation in America.
The scramble for resources is not between the peanuts that those at the bottom get, but it's really the very, very, very rich people who not only accumulate millions a day, they also don't pay taxes, because we know that capital, so long as it is invested, is not taxed. Capital gains are really taxed to very low levels. Corporate tax rates are constantly going down. This is part of austerity. So the problem here is really at the top, not at the bottom. So the idea that people will do better if we kick out the immigrants is just a way to fool people in thinking that the problem are not those who benefit from a system that is based on war, suffering, and exploitation.
The new book is called Escape from Capitalism and Intervention. Economics professor Clara Mattei is also founder of a grassroots organization called Forum for Real Economic Emancipation, or FREE. Professor, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me, David.
And This Old House Radio Hour and Marketplace here work together on a one-hour special called Building Tomorrow, where we explore what a house for the next 100 years might look like, given disasters like hurricanes, tornadoes, wildfires, and more, given the affordability crisis in housing, given our evolving needs for how we want to live. There's another chance to catch this program this weekend. We're putting it in the Marketplace Morning Report podcast feed. You know where to find podcasts. In Los Angeles, I'm David Brancaccio. We're from APM, American Public Media.